Oh, 49er fans, this is not something that we expected. We thought for sure that the Seattle Seahawks were a year away from truly competing for the NFC West. However, them making a huge signing and getting Bobby Wagner back puts them right on the heels of the 49ers. They have absolutely turned around a weakness for this team, which was their defense. They have upgraded 5 starting positions already. They still have 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. The Seattle Seahawks are not far behind the 49ers, and if they can land an edge rusher or 2 in this draft, it is going to be an all-out fight for the NFC West title. Let's take a look at the Seattle Seahawks offseason thus far. Now, before we get into their additions, we cannot forget that Jamal Adams will be coming back from a significant injury. They have signed Devin Bush, Draymond Jones, Jaron Reed, and Julian Love. This was all before bringing back Bobby Wagner today. Bobby Wagner, although he's about to be 33 years old, he was a first-team All-Pro in 2020, a second-team All-Pro in 2021, and in 2022. He is still a very good player. Also, adding a player like Julian Love gives them major flexibility. Jamal Adams can play that hybrid role. He was doing very good before the injury, rotating into a too-high safety position, but we know that he is an absolute threat when he plays that hybrid role as a linebacker / safety. You bring in Julian Love, who can play the nickel corner spot. He can play safety, and they have weapons all over that defense all of a sudden. A lot of depth, and it makes things very, very interchangeable for them and very, very interesting for them. They have also upgraded on the defensive line in a major way, getting Draymond Jones and Jaron Reed. They are better all the way around. We already know what their offense is made of. Let's also not forget that they had 2 rookie tackles this year that will be making a major improvement going into year 2. They had a rookie running back who played very, very well in Kenneth Walker. And we know that those 2 receivers are very, very good. Hey, if you're liking the content here at Last Second Sports, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, I know that Geno Smith doesn't scare anybody. I get that. And it's hard to believe that a player like Geno Smith, who was not good all the way up until this last season, is all of a sudden turning a page and is a lethal weapon. I am not here to sell you that Geno Smith is an incredible player by any means. However, as 49er fans, I do not believe that we are in a position to look at a team like the Seattle Seahawks and poo-poo their quarterback position when we don't even know who our starter is going to be. Whether it's Brock Purdy or Trey Lance, we don't know how good these kids are going to be. Yes, Brock Purdy showed a ton of poise, looked very good for a stretch. But that doesn't mean that he's a lock to be anything, especially coming off of a major surgery. Trey Lance, you know I'm a big fan of his. He has all the attributes to be great from a physical and a mental standpoint. However, he hasn't yet put it together. So the 49ers are in a situation here where they don't know who their quarterback is going to be long term. They have possibly taken a step back overall as a team. Yes, they got Javon Hargrave, which was a massive signing. But you look at the departures on this team, you look at losing a great defensive coordinator like DeMeco Ryans and bringing in Steve Wilkes, who I think is a very, very good hire, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to take a back step on defense. They have weapons all over the offensive side, but they don't know who the quarterback's going to be, and they don't know how well these quarterbacks are going to perform. The Seattle Seahawks were supposed to be a year away from really competing for the NFC West. I don't think that is the case anymore. The Seattle Seahawks are right there. This is going to be a dogfight for the division. And then we can look across the rest of the NFC. We know the Detroit Lions have made major upgrades, and they are also needing a pass rusher in this draft. But they've got 2 first-round picks as well, 2 second-round picks. All right. So it's safe to say that the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions are going to address that in this draft, making both of their weaknesses in defense much stronger than it was last year on top of all the additions that they've brought in. And then we look at the Philadelphia Eagles, who I know it's being sold to you that they're taking this major backstep. I don't see it that way. They still have an incredible defensive line. You look at the 4 starters that they have: Brandon Graham, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Son Reddick, and they have Sweat coming off the bench. They just signed a safety in Edmonds. They brought back both of their corners. The defense is not going to take this major backstep the way that we think. Plus, they have the best offensive line in football still. Jalen Hurts is ascending. They have great receiver weapons. And they have 2 first-round picks. The 49ers went from 2 weeks ago seeming like this lock to win the NFC in the eyes of 49er fans to now all of a sudden, ish just got real. There are 3 teams here that are very legitimate and fighting with the 49ers going into this year. And at the very least, they all know what the hell they're doing at the quarterback position. I still think the 49ers can win the NFC. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's doom and gloom and they got no chance here. But to sit back and act as if the 49ers are locked favorites to make it to the Super Bowl the way we once thought a couple weeks ago, or even win their division, that is no longer the case. 49er fans, these teams are coming, and they're coming on very, very strong and very, very quickly. This is going to be a dogfight this year, no doubt about it. And when those 3 teams all have multiple first-round picks, things just got real interesting real quick. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the NFC. Do you still think it's the 49ers for the taking? How confident are you with these moves that these other teams are making? Would love to hear from you. Peace.